Eric Coomer's deposition went
phenomenally badly.
Viva Frei, Montreal litigator turned YouTuber, and this is Winnie the Westie, who smells like he was eating my coffee cup off the floor of the car. I just finished watching Eric Coomer's deposition in the Eric Coomer versus Rudy Giuliani defamation lawsuit, and let me tell you something, Eric Coomer just saved Rudy Giuliani's butt, at the very least in this lawsuit. A few days ago, I did a vlog breaking down Rudy Giuliani's deposition in the same defamation lawsuit. I came to the conclusion that Rudy Giuliani did not do all that well in his deposition, but for whatever was lacking from Rudy Giuliani's deposition,
Eric Coomer filled in the blanks.
Eric Coomer, who at all relevant times here too was the Director of Product Strategy and Security at Dominion Voting, filed a defamation lawsuit against Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and others, alleging that they defamed him in the context of the 2020 elections, such that he was forced to go into hiding after receiving death threats, etc., etc. The only problem is that Eric Coomer really undermined his defamation claim. That being said, you know what? He is eating my coffee cup. He's eating the coffee cup. Café Bazin. Good coffee place in Montreal if anyone's here. That being said, it is important for everyone to appreciate that there are multiple defamation lawsuits going on here. You have Eric Coomer suing Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and others for defamation. You also have Dominion, the company itself, also suing pretty much the same parties for defamation on different facts and for different consequences. In his lawsuit, Coomer says that as a result of some of the statements made by Giuliani and others, he was forced to go into hiding after receiving death threats. Dominion says after certain statements made, it cost them certain contracts, it undermined their business and caused their business damages. There are two separate claims for defamation, and we are only talking about
Eric Coomer's defamation lawsuit here.
In his deposition, in the context of Coomer's defamation lawsuit, Giuliani really did not bring the receipts to the table in terms of what he relied on when making certain public statements about Eric Coomer, but Eric Coomer in his deposition basically admits everything that would have been required in order for Giuliani to make, at the very least, a good portion of those statements. Now, it is true that some of the statements made by Giuliani and others have yet to be substantiated as relates to a secretly recorded conversation to which Eric Coomer was allegedly a party with other members of Antifa. Certain statements have not been corroborated, but my goodness, what Coomer admits to in his deposition...
Now you're all in big trouble.
Now, I have done a ton of vlogs on defamation, so I'm not going to go over all of the criteria for a lawsuit in defamation. Suffice only to say that in the context of a defamation lawsuit, the truthfulness of the statements is an absolute defense to a lawsuit in defamation, at the very least in the United States. Even in Quebec, the truthfulness of the statements is not necessarily a defense to a lawsuit in defamation, but in the United States, the truthfulness of the statements
is an absolute defense.
Now, in the context of Coomer's defamation lawsuit, the truthfulness of the statements might not be determinate, because while it looks like some statements might in fact turn out to be true, others may not turn out to be true, so one will not be able to rely on the truthfulness of the statements as purely dispositive in this matter. Another defense in the context of defamation lawsuits, and it's a defense we saw the New York Times raise against Project Veritas in Project Veritas's defamation lawsuit, is that the plaintiff, by and through its own conduct, has rendered itself unable to be defamed. That defense was raised by the New York Times against Project Veritas in the context of their defamation lawsuit, and the judge said no way is that going to pass, but I think the situation might be somewhat different in the context of Eric Coomer's defamation lawsuit. Now, before we get started, full disclosure, and I guess also to give credit where credit is due, the full deposition can be found in multiple places online. I found it on the YouTube channel of someone named Joey Camp 2020, who apparently from the interwebs is described as a satirist who ran for office. I cut these highlights from the deposition on his YouTube channel, and I zoomed in a little bit because I don't know why there was the logo for Antifa on the upper right hand corner of his video, but I did not necessarily want anyone accusing me of being associated with it, so I zoomed in a little bit, but this is pulled from his YouTube channel where you can watch the full 4-hour deposition in its entirety. The Gateway Pundit did an article on this covering the deposition. You have to take that with the full knowledge that the Gateway Pundit is a party to that lawsuit and therefore has a certain vested interest in their reporting, but these are the highlights that I found most pertinent.
In paragraph 19, it says, "In fear for my life, in light of security professionals' assessment that threats against me were legitimate, I immediately began deleting my Facebook posts." How many Facebook posts did you delete, Dr. Coomer?
I actually don't recall.
How many Facebook posts did you have?
I do not recall.
The basis of Coomer's defamation lawsuit against the various defendants is that they made certain public statements as relates to Coomer's potential affiliation with certain groups, which caused him great harm, which caused people to issue death threats against him. And here in the deposition, you have Eric Coomer admitting that he deleted a number of Facebook posts which were questionable in nature. And some more information for context, Coomer apparently only created his Facebook account in May of 2020, so the posts in question were only posted as of May 2020, leading up to the election. And when we get into a couple of these posts, you will see that they are absolutely over the top, not just objectively, but subjectively coming from someone of Coomer's position in the company that he is in for the role that that company is playing in the election. But here you have Coomer admitting under oath that he deleted a number of his Facebook posts on his Facebook page. He doesn't remember how many, which I think is total bunk. I think he knows darn well how many he deleted. And why does he say that he deleted them? He says that he deleted them to prevent others from abusing them to promote a false narrative.
Actually, Exhibit 23. You've seen Exhibit 23 before, haven't you?
I have.
This is a series of about 80 Facebook posts.
I've never counted.
Okay. But you've seen it before and you're familiar with it?
Yeah.
And you deleted all of these Facebook posts?
Actually, I'd actually have to go back and look. I can't say that for any certainty.
So there are some Facebook posts you didn't delete.
Well, I certainly didn't delete all my Facebook posts, no.
So you don't know how many Facebook posts you deleted?
Nope.
First things first, here, listen to how Eric Coomer says, nope.
Nope.
In my humble experience, anyone answering the question in that manner with that short, terse, nope,
nope,
is being overtly deceitful. He knows darn well roughly how many Facebook posts he deleted, because it's not the type of thing you do and then lose track of. If you deleted anywhere between 3 and 8 Facebook posts, you may not know the exact number, but you know it's under 10. If you deleted anywhere between 12 and 30, you may not know the exact number, but you know it's a few dozen. And if you deleted more than 30, you may not know the exact number, but you know you deleted a lot. And here, when pressed with the question, he just says, nope.
Nope.
Bull garbage. And I'm going to freeze frame on some of these posts so that you can read them for yourselves. I'm not going to read them aloud because this video might get demonetized if I do, but just check out some of those posts that Eric Coomer admits to having written and admits to having deleted. Eric Coomer may be the author of his own misfortune and may very well have damaged his own reputation by being in the position that he was in within Dominion, drafting these types of Facebook posts in the first place. Drafting them and publishing them in the year of an election and then deleting them immediately after the election when people had some questions about the company for which he worked. Now bear in mind, and I want to be extremely clear about this, all of this only relates to Eric Coomer's defamation claim. None of these claims have anything to do with any accusations or allegations of election fortification. This all has only to do with the basis of Eric Coomer's defamation claim and whether or not he, through his own actions, basically damaged his own reputation.
I know that this is the sum total of Facebook posts that I had. I cannot tell you definitively which of these I deleted. None of the posts that I deleted are not contained in this filing. As far as I recall, I have never deleted a Facebook post until on or around November 9th.
Let that sink in. Eric Coomer here not only admits that he authored and published those somewhat offensive Facebook posts as relates to a presidential candidate while he was head of product and security at the election company, he then admits to having deleted those posts a week after the election. What does he think that is going to leave by way of impression in the general public? And he argues that he deleted those posts to prevent further harassment and them being weaponized by other media outlets when those posts themselves might have been the source of the harassment in the first place, therefore not attributable to the acts of the defendants.
Did anyone at Dominion tell you to delete these Facebook posts?
No.
Did you tell, as an executive Dominion, that anyone should delete Facebook posts?
No.
Are you aware of a Dominion policy that provides that posts of the Dominion employees, either for or against President Trump, should be deleted?
No.
Do you believe such a policy does not exist?
Such policy does not exist as far as I know. Actually, that would be illegal under Colorado statute.
Side note, this is a very curious detail for Eric Coomer to add, that he knows that it would be illegal to have such a policy under Colorado statute. Why would he know that? Up for you to guess, but it's very interesting not only that he knew it, but that he added it as a detail at the tail end of his answer. And then the deposition moves on to an article that Eric Coomer himself wrote in the context of the election, and wait until you hear these questions and his answers.
Yeah, that's in the Denver Post.
You wrote it, right?
Yes, I did.
So it says, additionally, any posts on social media channels, according to be from me, have also been fabricated. So you're accusing Mr. Oatman of fabricating those Facebook posts, weren't you?
No, I was not.
I do not have a Twitter account. My Facebook account is not active. You were trying to imply that you didn't have Facebook accounts, posts such as those exposed by Dr. or Mr. Oatman, weren't you?
No, I was not.
So you never had those particular Facebook posts in mind when you said that they were being fabricated?
Nope.
Okay. What social media posts did you have in mind?
This line of questioning is very important, specifically as relates to Coomer's defamation lawsuit, because in the article that Eric Coomer himself drafted, he seems to imply that the posts that people might be finding on the internet are from impersonating accounts and are not his own posts. However, in this line of questioning, Coomer admits that although his language may have been a little fluffy, here in his article, he was not talking about the social media posts that he himself drafted and published. He was referring to other social media posts from accounts that were impersonating him, but that the original posts in question were in fact his own posts. But alas, it would seem to a regular person of ordinary intelligence that from Eric Coomer's article, he was at the very least giving the general public the idea that all of the posts in question were questionable of origin. And by questionable of origin, because that's not really proper English, what I mean is that Eric Coomer is giving the impression in this article that he drafted and published at the time that the impugned posts were not necessarily his own. He was giving the idea that those posts were from other people, not him.
Okay, so were you or were you not aware on December 8th, 2020, that the Facebook posts marked as P23 were in the national news?
I cannot recall a single media outlet that I saw those Facebook posts on.
Did you have a general awareness that those Facebook posts were in the national news?
I had a general knowledge that they were out in the digital universe.
So here, Eric Coomer himself admits that the posts that he himself posted, that were genuine posts that he put on his own Facebook account, that the defendants were invoking, were in fact his own, despite the wording that he put into that article, implying or suggesting that they were from accounts impersonating him. Sneaky, 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 but alas, and I have said this many times in previous vlogs, litigation is a two-way street, and it's not just because you sued that you get to ask all the questions. At some point in time, you are going to have to sit down and answer the questions, and Eric Coomer is sinking his own ship by answering these questions the way he's answering them.
I reviewed that last night, and in no point did I ever make that statement, that I was not the author of wild posts being circulated.
Did you imply it if you did not, if not expressly make it?
No, I reviewed the audio video. I will also point out that I believe the day after this article appeared is when we filed our original suit. And in there, I made clear statements that I did author those Facebook posts. So that would have been, that would certainly supersede any setting the record straight.
So you're saying your original complaint in this case admitted to authoring the Facebook post?
As far as I recall, I believe that that's explicit in the original.
What the lawyer asking the questions is getting at here is whether or not it was actually specified in the first version of Coomer's defamation lawsuit that he did in fact author the impugned Facebook posts. It sounds like he may not have been entirely clear about that, and based on Coomer's sort of evasive answering here, that's my inclination in terms of believing what is going on. But bottom line, Coomer here admits to having authored the impugned Facebook posts, which are themselves very, very questionable as to the damage they can do to someone's reputation, especially when they sit in Coomer's position at Dominion.
Is it your testimony today that you don't hate Donald Trump?
Again, that's a characterization I'm not ready to agree to. I dislike Donald Trump intensely. Yes.
So you're unwilling to sit here today and say you don't hate him?
Form. Again, hate's a different connotation.
Read the question, please, Jana. Listen very carefully to the question, sir.
So you're unwilling to sit here today and say you don't hate him?
And don't say. Your double negatives are really confusing a lot of times. No, I would say that I don't hate him. I hate his policies and his fascist tendencies.
So you think he's an autocratic, narcissistic, fascist, asshat, blowhard, but you don't hate him?
I absolutely think all of those are true. Yes.
But you don't hate him?
Again, I wouldn't characterize it as that.
I mean, it simply lacks credibility that Coomer here cannot simply admit that he hates Donald Trump, but in referring to him as a fascist asshat, that anyone who votes for him is an effing moron, yada, 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 to having publicly posted all of those statements and then under oath refuse to recognize that he hates Donald Trump because of his position. My goodness, is he damaging whatever remained of his reputation, and I'm not sure that much remained anyhow. And if you thought it couldn't get any worse for Eric Coomer, hold your breath, it gets worse for Eric Coomer.
Page 20 of Exhibit P23 talks about dead prez, cop shot. What does dead prez mean, in your view?
That's the name of a band. They've actually been on The Tonight Show.
Do you know what prez means in this context?
Actually, I don't.
Actually, I don't know what prez means in the context of dead prez. My goodness, do you have to think we are all stupid
to believe that answer?
You knew darn well what it meant in the context. You knew darn well why you posted it, and I don't think there are a great many judges out there who are going to eat the sandwich you are making and say it tastes good. What?
Page 21 says the USA. Is that something that you stand by today, posting the USA on your Facebook page?
Really? You're asking him that question?
Yes, sir, I am.
Well, we're well beyond the scope. Dr. Coomer, hold on.
Yeah.
I'll object to the form. I don't even, I cannot believe that you're asking these lines of questions.
Improper speaking.
But for the sake of comedy,
Okay,
I will object to
form.
Okay. You can answer it if you can.
So
I posted that. I posted that
wait.
Song. I posted that as a private individual on a private Facebook page.
I'm sorry. Excuse me, Mr. or Dr. Coomer. Could you say that again?
Sorry. I posted that on a private Facebook page as a private individual, and I stand by my right to do that. And I would do it again today.
Well, give Eric Coomer credit at the very least here for being honest, although I think it's virtually impossible to be dishonest when faced with your own words rubbed in your face. But Eric Coomer says he doesn't regret the post. He would do it again. He was within his rights to do it, even if that post is saying F the USA in the context of an election for which he is working for the company that literally counts the votes. And last time, this lawsuit is not about election fortification. This is only about whether or not Eric Coomer conducted himself in such a manner, such that what the defendant said about him actually damaged his reputation. And after having listened to Eric Coomer in his own words for 4 hours, I am inclined to say you are going to lose this lawsuit. Now, I know some of you out there are going to say that I was very hard on Giuliani, and I've got to say, had Coomer simply not sat down for a deposition, I would still be very skeptical and very critical of Giuliani's deposition. But my goodness, did Coomer talk, and did he ever confirm some things which, even if they don't justify some of the statements made by the defendants, they can certainly justify others, and they can certainly render Eric Coomer somewhat not susceptible of defamation, if only through his own conduct. In the deposition, Eric Coomer does talk about how it would be illegal but not impossible to flip votes, but that is not the object of this vlog. That is the subject matter for others to discuss on other platforms. I am just breaking down the defamation lawsuit, and this defamation lawsuit just took a very, very, very bad turn for Coomer. And if I'm Dominion and I had any knowledge of any of this, I think it was a very, very big mistake to allow Coomer to sue for defamation in the first place. If Dominion did not know about Coomer's second personality of sorts of his Facebook account, they should have known. When I ran for the PPC, they did a social media check on all of my posts and found nothing susceptible of reproach. If Dominion didn't know, it is time to throw Coomer under the bus, and if they did know, it's time to pretend they didn't and throw Coomer under the bus. Because the posts that Eric Coomer posted in the year of an election in a newly created Facebook account from May 2020 to November 2020 that he subsequently deleted, those are
damning posts.
So that is a breakdown of the deposition. I watched 4 hours of it, so you don't have to. Those are my highlights. I think other people out there might find other highlights they find relevant, but those are the highlights I like. And if you like my videos, you like my content, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment in the comment section below because it feeds the algorithm.
Please, sir,
I want some more.
If you want to support the channel, all of the support links are in the pinned comment. Robert Barnes and I do weekly streams every Sunday. We do weekly streams with a guest every Wednesday called The Sidebar. If you want to find us and support us on Locals, where supporters get lots of exclusive perks, you can find us at
VivaBarnesLaw.locals.com.
All of my content is also on Rumble, so you can catch it there, and we have some very big news coming out, so stay tuned. But more important than any of that, take care of yourselves, check in on friends and family, make sure everyone around you is doing well, and now you know your vlog. Peace out. Booyah!